Hello there everybody, it's uxwbill again, and this time I'm answering a video request that is been hanging out there for the past couple of weeks, if not several months, and this video request was made by YouTube user Dell 0304, who asked to see a video about this Dell Latitude D800 laptop. I bought this laptop new in 2005. I had a Compaq LTE 5000 at the time that had seen me through most of high school. And it was really a great machine, you know, for the $20 that I paid for it. Nobody could really argue. But in this day and age, a Pentium processor at 75 megahertz just doesn't buy you a whole lot in this world. Now, it got a few upgrades because I came across some LTE 5000 machines that had been cannibalized for other parts but had faster processor cards in them, and so in the end, it was a 150 megahertz machine. And wasn't too bad at that rate, but the battery charging circuit had always been kind of fiddly, and the battery that came with it, although it worked when I got it and it was the factory original battery, it just gradually got worse and worse until its behavior was completely inconsistent. So in March of 2005, I finally decided that I was going to buy the laptop to end all laptops. I was going to spend the money and get a machine that I would really like, and the choice boiled down to either then IBM phasing into Lenovo ThinkPad or this Dell Latitude machine. It was a very narrow decision, but as I remember, the decision that made it for me, and some people might ridicule this, is the fact that the Dell machine offered a built-in floppy drive. And I actually got that option on this machine. I don't know how many people did. Now by 2005, the Latitude D800 was a pretty long-in-the-tooth model, and I bought mine shortly before it was discontinued, when replaced by the Latitude D810. But as it turned out, that wasn't entirely bad, because the Latitude D810 did away with two features that the D800 already had: the FireWire port and the parallel port, which came in handy more than once when I wanted to print to my good old DeskJet 560C. And so I was glad that I got in at that particular point in time. Now initially I bought this machine with two main batteries, two primary bay batteries, both of which are still alive and well to this day, although the one that I use the most is starting to get a little long in the tooth and is showing the signs that its lifetime is not going to be much longer. Over time, this machine hasn't needed a lot of service, and I would have to say that Dell always did a good job servicing it, although sometimes it had to go back a couple of times, because one time it came back thinking that it was a Precision M60. I think it only went into them for service 2 or 3 times throughout its entire life, and it had a 3-year warranty, plus I traveled around a lot with it, so it tended to get used. And the biggest Achilles heel of this machine had to be the keyboard. This is the third keyboard that it's had in it. The first one was replaced by Dell under warranty, the second one was replaced by Dell under warranty, and now this one, which was also replaced by Dell under warranty, is finally starting to go further south than what I can fix. I bought myself some time when I threw it in the dishwasher a couple months ago, but the writing's on the wall. This keyboard's about had it. There are some keys that aren't hardly working at all anymore, and I would imagine that, you know, either there's enough hand salsa in there or something like that, you know, the keyboard matrix has started to degrade. Fortunately, replacement keyboards seem to be plentiful on eBay. I bought this machine with the Intel Centrino package, which means it has the Intel Pentium M processor clocked at 2 gigahertz, and also the Intel wireless adapter, because although Dell sells their own wireless adapter, I just didn't have as good a feeling about it, and it turns out that I think I made the right choice. I think the Intel adapter has been better supported and has been the better quality hardware. The machine also has Bluetooth on it, which you either bought it when you got the machine or you did without, and I figured that while I had no need for it at the time, I was building a laptop that was going to be top of the line, and so I wanted to have it. It shipped with Windows XP Home Edition, which I really had no intention of using at the time. So I downgraded, or some people, myself included, would tell you I upgraded to Windows 2000 Professional, which, although it's out of support, this machine is still happily running. It works, it's paid for, it does everything I want to. I opted to buy the base display, the 1280 by 800 panel, I believe it is, and that's the only thing that I think I probably should have done better on. I probably should have picked one of the upgraded display panels, because like someone who was reviewing the machine when it was still available for sale said back then, they would recommend buying the display. And that's what I should have done. I should have bought the upgraded display. Now, the palm rest, it has these plastic things on it because I actually sent it into Dell before the warranty expired, and I said, hey, you know, would you renew this thing for me? You know, replace the keyboard, replace the palm rest, fix the display hinges, which are getting kind of floppy. And they did. Now, it came back a Precision M60 during that little trip, but at least it came back, and they did fix most everything that was wrong with it. But I decided I wasn't going to allow the palm rest to wear out again, so I left the little plastic protective pads on, and I actually gave them some help with some Scotch tape. It makes the machine look unattractive, but if there's ever a time when I decide to sell it, I'll be able to take those off, and the palm rest assembly will look like brand new. So it's a win for me, although I doubt I ever sell the machine. Now, this machine has a full card of legacy ports. There's TV out, 2 USB ports there. The network adapter, somebody asked about this, and the answer here is very simple. Those lights actually are used by the internal wired network adapter and the wireless card, so depending on which one's in use, it'll be making use of the lights. The optional telephone modem, which I've used as a fax device a couple of times. Parallel port, VGA, serial port. And I have the docking station with the PCI slot in it, as well as the basic port multiplying docking station. Both of those plug into the bottom of the machine right here, and you can hot undock from there. I have upgraded the memory in this machine. The hard drive remains original. And over time, I have procured some of the widgets that Dell produced for the multi-bay. In particular, I have a plain old CD-ROM drive, I have a CD-RW, I have another CD-RW, and I have a DVD burner. This is the CD-RW DVD reader that it came with when it was new. Over here is a plug-in for a, I forget what Dell calls this thing, but it's some sort of a D-series enclosure that you can put your multi-bay goodies in. Floppy drive, hard drive, optical drive, but not the multi-bay battery. I have that thing. Now, some of these accessories seem to be made of unobtainium. You could get, for this multi-bay, you could get the optical drive, a second hard drive carrier, a fake module that saved weight that Dell called a travel light, a modular bay battery, and of course a floppy drive, which maybe I already said. Well, I decided I wanted the travel light, and it was the only module that I never came up with on eBay. I have all the others, including the secondary hard drive module and 2 modular bay batteries, but I never could find that travel light module, and it wasn't available in the Dell store. So I actually contacted Dell support, and I said, hey, what gives here? And this is why I'm kind of partial to Dell as a computer company, because they overnighted me at no cost the travel light module. That's something you probably won't see too many of. It's just a piece of plastic that plugs into the machine. It's not really worth paying anything for unless you've just got to have one. But it can save you a couple of ounces at least. Overall, I've been real happy with this thing. I would definitely recommend, if you were looking for a good, rugged laptop, this thing has excellent battery life. When it was new, it managed 4.5 hours on a charge. Nowadays, it's still getting about 2.5 to 3, somewhere in there, depending on how hard it's used. Certainly enough to still get through a feature film. It has been, by all intents and purposes, a great computer. The problem is, a lot of them are not going to be this nicely or modernly configured because this is a model that was produced very late in the lifetime of the Latitude D800. So many of them have a much more modest processor and a much more modest hard drive. Curiously, one thing that is a crippling flaw, I was going to put a 250 gigabyte hard drive in this thing, and I discovered that even though I have Dell Pentium 3 machines that predate this thing has a 137 gigabyte or 48-bit LBA limit. It cannot address a 48-bit LBA drive acceptably, so any drive over 137 gigabytes in size is not going to be properly usable with this thing unless you want to carve it up in partitions. But that's basically the complete story behind this machine, and hopefully this satisfies user Dell 0304 who made the request. Thank you for watching.